One day, you're going to wake up and someone you love will be gone. You won't get a warning, you won't get one more conversation, and in that moment, the only thing left will be the words you never said and the choices you can't take back. I know, because I've lived it. I threw away my dreams, hurt the people who believed in me the most, and waited until it was too late to say, I love you. But listen to me, you don't have to make the same mistake, because today, right now, you have a choice. And if you stay with me for the next few minutes, I promise, what you hear could save your relationships, your future, and maybe even your life. You know, when I was a kid, I thought my parents existed just to annoy me. I really believed that. Like every game, every practice, every performance, there they were, cheering, clapping, sometimes yelling my name way too loudly. And when you're young, that doesn't feel like love. It feels like embarrassment. One time, during a middle school basketball game, I missed an easy layup. The gym went silent for a moment, but not my dad. From the stands, I heard, "That's all right, son, you'll get the next one." I could feel my face turning red. My teammates snickered, "Yo, is that your dad?" And of course, I shrugged it off. Nah, never seen him before in my life. But looking back now, I would give anything to hear that voice again. Because those cheers weren't about the shot I missed. They were about reminding me that someone believed I could try again. Belief. That's the greatest gift a family can give you. See, my parents weren't rich. We didn't live in a mansion. I didn't get the best clothes or the newest sneakers. But what I got was something money can't buy. Someone who believed in me when I didn't even believe in myself. And let me tell you, that gift, it's worth more than any paycheck you'll ever cash. But here's the thing. When you're young, you don't always see it. Instead, you see rules, curfews, lectures, be home by 10, call me when you get there, don't hang around those kids. And what do we say? Ugh, you don't understand, leave me alone. I can't count how many times I walked into my house way past curfew, trying to sneak into my room without being noticed. But there it was, the same scene over and over again. That lamp in the living room, still on. And sitting under it, my mom. Her eyes were heavy, her shoulders slouched from waiting hours. But the moment I walked in, she sat up straight and smiled relieved. "Hey, how was your night?" she'd ask. And what did I do? I brushed her off. Fine, tired, going to bed. And then, like a fool, I slammed the bedroom door. You see, I thought her questions were nagging. I thought her waiting was overprotective. But it wasn't. It was love. It was sacrifice. It was her silently saying, "I care too much to sleep until I know you're safe." We miss it, don't we? We miss how powerful those small moments are. Because they don't feel powerful when they're happening. They feel ordinary. But one day, you realize ordinary moments were the most extraordinary of all. Think about it. It's not the vacations or the holidays you remember most. It's the sound of your mom humming in the kitchen. It's the way your dad laughed at his own bad jokes. It's the lamp in the living room at midnight, waiting for you. That's love. Not fireworks, not grand speeches, just presence. But yet, what do? We push it away. We roll our eyes. We act like we don't care. Why? Because when you're young, you believe there will always be more time, more chances to talk, more nights to come home, more mornings to say thank you. Until there aren't. I remember one night in particular. It was late. I came home, And as usual, there she was, waiting. This time, she didn't just ask, "How was your night?" This time she asked, "Can we talk? Just for a few minutes?" And I shrugged her off. "Not now, I'm tired." I went to my room, shut the door. I can still hear that sound, the door clicking shut between us. That was her greatest wish, just a conversation with her son. And I couldn't give her 5 minutes. I thought there'd be another chance, another day, another tomorrow. But tomorrow isn't guaranteed. If you're listening right now, I want you to pause and think. Who's waiting for you? Who's staying up late praying you make it home safe? Who's cheering for you even when you miss every shot? And when was the last time you said, "Thank you, I see you, I love you"? Don't wait until they're gone to realize what they meant. Because one day, that lamp will be off. One day, that chair will be empty and you'll be left with nothing but memories, wishing you had just one more night to walk through that door and talk. We think strength is independence. We think we don't need anyone. But I've learned the strongest people are the ones who admit, "I wouldn't be here without those who loved me through my worst moments." Every curfew, every lecture, every embarrassing cheer from the bleachers, that was love in disguise. And if you're lucky enough to still have it, don't take it for granted. Because one day, the roles will reverse. One day, you'll be the one in the chair. You'll be the one waiting up for your son or daughter to come home. You'll be the one worrying, praying, hoping. And then you'll understand in a way you never did before. That's when it hits you. Love is sacrifice. Love is patience. Love is staying awake when every part of you wants to sleep. So let me challenge you again. Don't wait. Text them, call them, hug them. Tell them, "Thank you for believing in me even when I didn't believe in myself." Because at the end of the day, those small acts of love are the real treasures of life. But here's the tragedy. I didn't see it then. I thought I was too cool, too grown up, too busy. And that blindness, that arrogance, led me to push away the people who loved me most. Instead, I chased after the wrong kind of acceptance. I surrounded myself with the wrong kind of people, and little by little, I traded away the love I had for a path that nearly destroyed me.
You know, looking back now, I realize something. The love I had at home should have been enough. The cheers in the bleachers, the lamp in the living room, the conversations my mom begged for, those should have grounded me. But they didn't. Because when you're young, there's another voice that gets louder than the voice of your parents. It's the voice of your friends. We all crave belonging. We all want to fit in. So what happens? We start trading wisdom for approval. And that's what I did. I remember the first time I skipped practice to hang out with the cool kids. They weren't better than me. They weren't smarter, they weren't more talented, but they seemed fearless. They didn't care about rules, they didn't care about getting caught, and in my young, foolish mind, that looked like freedom. What I didn't realize? It wasn't freedom. It was a trap. There's a saying, "Show me your friends and I'll show you your future." At the time, I laughed at that. I thought it was just another cliche adults threw around. But it's the truth. Because the people you spend time with shape who you become, whether you notice it or not. And the more I hung out with those kids, the more I started to look like them, talk like them, act like them. Soon, I wasn't chasing my own dreams anymore. I was chasing theirs. And their dreams weren't dreams at all. They were dead ends. At first, it was harmless. Or at least, it felt harmless. Staying out too late, skipping responsibilities, making fun of anyone who was too serious. But slowly, the nights got darker. I can still picture it. We'd be driving around at 2, 3, sometimes 4 in the morning, music blasting, windows down, the smell of alcohol thick in the air. We were laughing, joking, thinking we were invincible. But here's the thing about invincibility. It's a lie. No one's invincible, and every choice has a consequence. One night, we pulled up in front of my house. The car was full of laughter, but my stomach dropped the moment I saw it. That light, still on. My mom, still waiting. And my friends, they thought it was funny. Yo man, your mom's waiting up for you again. She's always in that chair. They laughed, and I laughed with them, but deep down, I knew. I knew she wasn't waiting because she wanted to control me. She was waiting because she loved me. And I ignored it. That became the pattern. I traded love for approval. I traded safety for danger. I traded everything I once dreamed of for nothing that lasted. You see, bad decisions rarely feel like bad decisions in the moment. They feel fun. They feel exciting. They feel like freedom. But little by little, they take from you. They strip away your discipline. They steal your focus. They drown your dreams. And before you realize it, you've given up everything you ever wanted for people who don't even care about your future. That's what happened to me. I used to have big dreams. As a kid, I wanted to make something of myself. I wanted to be somebody. But instead of chasing those dreams, I chased acceptance. And you know what I got? Broken nights, empty mornings, regret. Here's the part most people don't understand. When you surround yourself with the wrong people, you don't just waste time. You waste yourself. I wasn't just losing hours in the night. I was losing my identity. I was slowly becoming a stranger to myself. The athlete my parents cheered for, gone. The dreamer who wanted to change the world, gone. What was left was just another kid trying too hard to fit in with people who didn't love him the way his family did. And maybe you're listening right now, and this is your story too. Maybe you've traded the people who believe in you for the ones who use you. Maybe you've started living for approval instead of purpose. If that's you, I want to tell you something I wish someone had told me sooner. Stop. Stop before you lose yourself completely. Because I promise you, those so-called friends, they won't be there when life gets hard. They won't be there when tragedy strikes. But your family, the ones you keep ignoring, they'll be the ones sitting under the lamp, waiting, hoping, praying. That took me years to realize this. And by the time I did, the damage had already begun. My choices led me down darker and darker roads. And soon, those harmless nights of laughter turned into something much worse. I started numbing myself. I started escaping. And the path I chose nearly destroyed everything I had left. But here's the thing about bad choices. They don't stay small. They grow, they snowball, they take you further than you ever planned to go. And in my case, there are moments in life that split your story into two parts. Before it happened, and after it happened. For me, that moment came in the middle of the night, in a hotel room, thousands of miles away from home. I was on the road, chasing success, chasing recognition, chasing everything I thought mattered, traveling the world, performing in front of strangers, pretending I was living the dream. But the truth? Inside, I was empty. I was running from myself. That night, I fell asleep in a hotel room, exhausted from another performance. Nothing felt different. Nothing felt special. Until there was a knock at the door. I'll never forget it. 3 a.m. I dragged myself out of bed, annoyed. Who knocks on someone's door at that hour? Through the peehole, I saw the promoter. His face was pale, his hands fidgeting. When I opened the door, his voice cracked. "You need to call home. There's been an emergency." My heart sank. I rushed to the hotel phone, dialed the number with shaking hands. The line clicked. Someone picked up. And in that instant, my entire world shifted. They said, "Something's happened." "What is it? Just tell me." Silence. "Please, just say it." Then the words came. Words that cut deeper than any knife. "Your mother. She's gone." I dropped the phone. My knees buckled. The air left my lungs like I'd been punched in the chest. I stumbled out of the room, down the hallway, into the elevator. I don't even remember pressing the button. The doors opened and I ran into the empty streets of a foreign city. It was dark, silent, 3 a.m, and I was standing alone in the middle of the road under a sky full of stars. And I remember looking up, my voice breaking as I whispered, "Mom, I'm so sorry." That's the thing about loss. It doesn't wait until you're ready. It doesn't ask if you've said everything you needed to say. It just comes. And suddenly, tomorrow is gone. I flew home for the funeral. The entire flight felt like a dream, or more like a...
The entire flight felt like a dream, or more like a nightmare I couldn't wake from. When I finally walked into the service, I froze. I stood in the back, afraid to move closer, afraid to see her. From a distance, I kept hoping, please just wake up. Please sit up and smile at me one more time. But she didn't. Eventually, I gathered the courage to walk forward, and there she was. She looked so peaceful, dressed in white, like an angel, more beautiful than I'd ever remembered. I leaned over her and whispered words I should have said 1,000 times when she was alive. Mom, you're my hero. Everything I am and everything I ever hope to be is because of you. You loved me when I didn't deserve it. You believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. And how did I repay you? By pushing you away, by choosing everyone else over you. I'm sorry, Mom. I'm so sorry. Regret is a heavy thing. It sits on your chest, pressing down, suffocating you. It replays every moment you wish you could take back, every word you wish you hadn't said, every door you wish you hadn't slammed. And standing there, I realized the truth. I had wasted so much time. I had chased the wrong things. I had ignored the one person who loved me most. We all think we'll have more time. Time to apologize. Time to fix it. Time to say I love you. But time is not guaranteed. One phone call can change everything. I wish I could go back. I wish I could sit down in that living room while the lamp was still on and just talk. Not argue, not brush her off, just talk. I wish I could listen to her advice instead of ignoring it. I wish I could hug her one more time, but I can't. And neither can you when the moment is gone. So hear me clearly. Don't wait until tragedy strikes to value the people who love you. Don't wait until the funeral to bring flowers. Don't wait until the casket to whisper words you should have spoken while they were alive. Say it now. Do it now. Because tomorrow is not promised. That was my breaking point. That was the moment I realized everything I've been chasing, fame, money, approval, meant nothing. Not when I stood over the person who gave me life and realized I'd traded her love for nights of temporary fun. I thought I was winning, but in reality, I was losing everything that mattered. From that day forward, I knew something had to change. I couldn't keep living the same way. I couldn't keep running from love, running from responsibility, running from truth, because life is fragile, and love, real love, is the only thing that lasts. But realizing it is one thing, living differently, that's another battle entirely. Because even after the funeral, even after the tears, even after the regrets, I was still left with the question, how do I move forward? How do I live in a way that honors her? How do I make sure I never waste love again? And that's where the journey truly began. Regret is like an echo. It doesn't disappear quickly. It bounces around in your mind over and over, reminding you of what you should have done, what you should have said, what you should have valued. And after my mother's passing, regret followed me everywhere. On the plane rides, in the hotel rooms, in the middle of the night when the noise faded and silence crept in. Her voice was gone, but in my heart, it was louder than ever. I kept replaying the same scenes. Her waiting up for me late at night, the lamp on, the worried look in her eyes. Mark, can we talk for a minute? And me? Too stubborn, too selfish, too blind. Leave me alone, Mom, you're bugging me. Slam, the sound of my bedroom door shutting in her face. How many times did that happen? How many moments did I waste thinking I was too busy, too cool, too tired? Now I would give anything for one of those conversations back. And that's when I realized something. Life doesn't punish us with regret. We punish ourselves, because regret is simply the recognition that we ignored what was important when we had the chance. You see, pain is inevitable, but regret is optional. It's what happens when we don't choose love when we have the opportunity. Here's the truth I learned the hard way. We think success is about what we accomplish, but real success is about who we become. It's not the trophies on the shelf. It's not the numbers in the bank account. It's not the applause or the likes or the spotlight. It's the relationships we nurture. It's the people we lift up. It's the love we give freely while we can. Because at the end of it all, the applause fades, the money spends, the spotlight shifts, but love echoes forever. After my mom's funeral, I sat alone one night and asked myself a question I'd been avoiding my whole life. What kind of man do I want to be remembered as? Not the wrestler, not the entertainer, not the guy on the stage, but the son, the friend, the father, the human being, because that's the legacy that matters. And in that moment, I made a promise to myself. I will not waste the love I still have left in this world. But here's where many people get it wrong. They think realization is enough. They think just because they've learned the lesson, life will magically transform. But knowledge is not transformation. Action is transformation. You can know the truth, but if you don't live it, regret will keep haunting you. So, I started making changes, small ones at first, calling people back, showing up for family dinners, saying I love you more often, actually listening when someone wanted to talk. And you know what I discovered? It wasn't too late to live differently. Yes, I had lost my mom. Yes, I would always carry that regret, but I could honor her by changing how I lived moving forward. Her love didn't die. It lived in me, and it demanded that I share it. I want to pause here and talk to you directly. Maybe you're carrying regrets too. Maybe you've said things you wish you could take back. Maybe you've ignored people who only wanted the best for you. Maybe you've chosen friends, parties, or distractions over the ones who truly love you. You don't need to wait until tragedy strikes to change. You don't need to wait for a wake-up call at 3 in the morning. You can decide right here, right now, to live differently. Pick up the phone. Send the text. Say the words. It costs you nothing to love someone, but it costs you everything when you realize too late that you should have. See, regret taught me this. It's not enough to dream about a better life. It's not enough to wish for stronger relationships. You have to choose them every single day. Because life is fragile, and you never know which hug, which conversation, which laugh will be the last. I used to think strength was about hiding your feelings, about pretending you didn't need anyone, about being independent and untouchable. But real strength? It's vulnerability. It's telling the people you love that you love them. It's admitting when you're wrong. It's saying sorry before it's too late. That's what my mom tried to teach me all along, and I was too stubborn to see it. I remember sitting one night, staring at her picture, tears in my eyes, and I whispered, "Mom, I can't change the past, but I can change the future. I can live in a way that makes you proud. I can love in the way you taught me, even when I didn't listen." That's when regret became realization, and realization became responsibility. So let me ask you something. Who do you need to forgive? Who do you need to call? Who do you need to hug while you still have the chance? Because one day the chance will be gone. And when it's gone, no amount of money, no amount of success, no amount of distractions will fill the hole left behind. The good news? You don't have to wait till tomorrow to change. You don't have to repeat the mistakes I made. You can choose love now. You can make today the day you stop living with regret and start living with intention. And that realization became the fuel for the rest of my journey. It wasn't about chasing fame anymore. It wasn't about winning at the expense of love. It wasn't about proving myself to the world. It was about proving myself to the people that mattered most. The ones who stayed, the ones who believed, the ones who loved me even when I didn't deserve it. And regret was the mirror. Realization was the spark. But transformation, that would require something even harder. Discipline, commitment, and a brand new vision for life. And that's what came next.
When you hit rock bottom, you have two choices. You can stay there, or you can decide to climb. And the climb doesn't happen in one leap. It happens in small, shaky steps. That's where my transformation began. After my mother's passing, after the tears, after the regret, I woke up one morning and asked myself, do I want to keep living as a victim of my past? Or do I want to honor her by building a future worth living? The answer was clear. I wanted to rebuild. I wanted to rise. Not just for me, but for her memory, and for everyone who still believed in me. The first step? Cutting out the dead weight. For years, I surrounded myself with people who dragged me down, people who laughed when I failed but disappeared when I succeeded, people who encouraged my worst habits and mocked my dreams. And then it hit me. If you want to change your life, you must first change your environment. So, I started cutting ties. Not in anger, not in bitterness, but with clarity. I realized some people are in your life for a season, not a lifetime. And if you keep clinging to them, you'll never move into the next chapter. That wasn't easy, because comfort loves company. And when you start changing, the people who don't want to change will try to pull you back down. But let me tell you this, your future is too important to be held hostage by someone else's comfort zone. So I said goodbye to the late-night parties, goodbye to the destructive habits, goodbye to the so-called friends who only showed up when there was trouble. And for the first time in years, I felt free. The second step? Rebuilding myself from the inside out. I had spent so much of my life trying to look strong on the outside, while inside, I was crumbling. So I flipped the script. I started small, waking up earlier, exercising not for the spotlight, but for discipline, writing down my goals, practicing gratitude every morning. At first, it felt silly, but here's the secret. Greatness is built in the small, boring, daily decisions that nobody sees. And over time, those small decisions transformed me. I had energy again. I had focus. I had hope. The third step? Finding purpose beyond myself. When you live only for yourself, life becomes shallow. When you live for something greater, life becomes powerful. I realized my story, my mistakes, my regrets, my struggles could be used to help others. And that gave me purpose. So, I started speaking, not as a polished motivational speaker, but as a broken man telling the truth. I walked into schools, into gyms, into community centers. I told young people what I wished someone had told me. You don't have to throw your life away. You don't have to numb your pain with drugs or alcohol. You don't have to chase people who don't value you. You can choose differently. You can build a future worth living. And for the first time in a long time, I felt alive. Here's what I discovered. When you use your pain to help someone else, it no longer controls you. Your scars become your story. Your wounds become someone else's roadmap. That's transformation. But let me be real with you. Transformation isn't easy. It's not a motivational poster on your wall. It's not one speech or one breakthrough moment. Transformation is work, daily work. It's choosing discipline when your feelings scream for comfort. It's saying no to temptation when nobody's watching. It's forgiving yourself when you fall down and then standing back up anyway. So, if you're in the middle of your own rebuild, let me give you the roadmap that helped me. 1. Remove the toxic influences. Stop letting people who don't respect themselves decide the direction of your life. 2. Rebuild your habits. Win the morning, win the day. Small disciplines compound into unstoppable momentum. 3. Redefine your purpose. Life is too short to chase only money, fame, or status. Anchor your life in love, service, and something bigger than yourself. Do these 3 things consistently, and your life will not just improve, it will transform. I'll never forget the first time someone came up to me after I shared my story. Tears in their eyes, they said, "Because of you, I decided not to give up. Because of your story, I chose to fight another day." In that moment, I realized my mother's love didn't die with her. It lived on. Through me, through the choices I was making, through the people I was reaching. Her belief in me was still alive. And now, I was finally living in a way that honored it. That's the beauty of transformation. It doesn't erase your past, it redeems it. All the mistakes, all the failures, all the regrets, they become fuel. They become lessons. They become the very things that equip you to help someone else. So if you've fallen, if you've failed, if you've wasted years, hear me. It's not too late. You can rebuild. You can rise again. Let me share this. One morning, years after I began this journey, I woke up, looked in the mirror, and for the first time in decades, I was proud of the man staring back at me. Not because he was perfect, not because he was famous, but because he was real, because he was living with purpose, because he was finally aligned with the love that had been chasing him all along. And now I want you to ask yourself, what needs to change in your life? What dead weight do you need to cut off? What habits do you need to build? What purpose is waiting for you to step into? Don't wait for tragedy to force your hand. Don't wait for regret to haunt you. Start rebuilding today. Start transforming now, because the gift of life is too precious to waste. The rebuild gave me strength. The transformation gave me clarity. But there was still one lesson left, the greatest of them all. And it wasn't about success. It wasn't about achievement. It wasn't about applause. It was about the one thing that gives meaning to everything else: love. Listen closely, because this part isn't about me anymore. It's about you. We've walked through my story, the triumphs, the failures, the regrets, and the rebuilding. But if all you do is listen and walk away entertained, then none of this matters. This message is not a show. This is a mirror. And I want to hold that mirror up to your life right now. Ask yourself, who are you when nobody's watching? Who are you becoming with the choices you're making today? If your life ended tonight, what would people remember about you? Be honest, because here's the truth. You don't drift into greatness. You don't stumble into character. You don't accidentally wake up one day with discipline, integrity, and love overflowing from your heart. No, you build it, one choice at a time. And if you don't like the story you're writing right now, here's the good news. You can turn the page. So many people waste their lives waiting for someday. Someday I'll quit drinking. Someday I'll forgive. Someday I'll start my business, write my book, chase my dream. But let me tell you something that tragedy taught me. Someday doesn't exist. There is only today, this moment, right now. And if you don't change now, you won't change then. So I'm asking you, no, I'm challenging you. What's the one thing you need to do tonight? Not tomorrow, not next week, tonight. Maybe it's picking up the phone and telling your mom or dad, I love you. Maybe it's apologizing to your spouse, your child, your friend. Maybe it's throwing away the bottle, the pills, the poison that's stealing your future. Maybe it's finally cutting ties with the person who keeps dragging you down. You already know what it is. You've known for a long time. Now the question is, will you act? Let me paint a picture for you. Fast forward 5 years. You kept saying someday. You kept ignoring the voice inside you. You kept living for comfort instead of purpose. Where are you? You're older, but not wiser. You've wasted more time, more relationships, more opportunities. The regret has gotten heavier. And maybe the people you thought would always be there aren't anymore. I'm not saying this to scare you. I'm saying this because I've lived it. I buried the one person who believed in me more than anyone else, and I will never get that time back. Don't make my mistake. Now, let's flip the script. Imagine 5 years from now, but this time you chose differently. You decided tonight to break the cycle. You made the hard call. You took the first step. What does your life look like then? Your relationships are stronger. Your health is better. You've built discipline, respect, and momentum. You're no longer running from regret. You're running toward purpose. And here's the best part. You'll look back and say, I'm glad I didn't wait, because courage today creates freedom tomorrow. So here's the question. What are you going to do with the rest? What are you going to do with the rest of your life? Not the next season, not the next year, the rest of your life. When people speak your name years from now, what will it mean? Will they say, he wasted his potential? Or will they say, she rose above the struggle? She lived with purpose. She made us better. You get to decide, right here, right now. And listen, don't do it just for you. Do it for the people who love you. Because whether you see it or not, someone out there believes in you. A mom, a dad, a brother, a sister, a friend. Someone is waiting for you to step up. And the greatest gift you can give them is the best version of you. That's love. Not words, not empty promises, but action. So tonight, I want you to do 3 things. 1, tell someone you love them. Don't wait. Don't assume they know. Say it. Mean it. 2, take 1 step toward change. Not 10, just 1. Throw away the bottle. Write the apology. Make the call. 3, decide who you want to be. Write it down. Speak it out loud. Begin building that person today. Do these 3 things and your life will never be the same. I'll leave you with this. Life is short. Time is fragile. And love is the only thing that lasts. So when this video ends, don't scroll to the next thing and forget what you heard. Stand up, act, change. Because one day, you and I will both be gone. And the only thing that will matter is how we loved, how we lived, and the legacy we left behind. So don't wait. Start now. Be the person you were created to be. You are the meaning. Now go live like it. Success. It's a word we all chase, but so few of us truly understand. From the time we're little kids, we're told what success is supposed to look like. The big house, the luxury car, the perfect body, the bank account with more zeros than we can count. We're taught that success is about what we collect, not who we become. But let me tell you something I learned the hard way. That version of success is empty. It's a mirage. Number 1, the illusion of more. I once believed that if I could just earn enough money, win enough titles, be seen by enough people, I'd finally be happy. But the truth? The higher I climbed on that ladder, the emptier I felt. Because every time I reached the top, I'd look around and realize the top had moved again. I'd buy something new, and a week later, it didn't satisfy me anymore. I'd win an achievement, and the applause faded faster than I thought. I'd get attention, but when I was alone, the silence was deafening. The illusion of success is that more will make you whole, but more never satisfies. It only leaves you hungry for the next fix. Number 2, the redefinition of success. So let me ask you, what if success isn't about what you have, but about what you give? What if success is not measured in net worth, but in network of impact? Not in the square footage of your house, but in the depth of your relationships. Not in how many people clap when you walk into a room, but in how many cry when you leave this world. That, my friend, is success. Number 3, the 3 true measures. I believe true success can be measured in 3 ways. 1, who you love. At the end of your life, people won't remember your titles or possessions. They'll remember how you made them feel. Did you love deeply? Did you forgive quickly? Did you show up when it mattered most? Number 2, who you become. Success isn't about being better than others. It's about being better than you were yesterday. Did you grow? Did you discipline yourself? Did you conquer the demons inside you? Did you live with integrity when no one was looking? Number 3, what you leave behind. Your legacy is not in your bank account. It's in the stories people tell about you, the lessons they carry because of you, the impact you made that ripples long after you're gone. That's success. Number 4, the story of empty hands. Let me give you a picture. Imagine standing at the end of your life. You're holding out your hands and they're empty. All the money you made, the cars you drove, the things you owned, they don't fit in the grave. They slip through your fingers like sand. But then imagine this. Instead of empty hands, you're surrounded by people whose lives were touched by yours. The child you mentored, the friend you encouraged, the family you provided for, the stranger you helped when nobody else was watching. That's wealth. That's success. And it cannot be taken away. Now here's the dangerous part. Most people miss real success because they're too busy comparing. We scroll through our phones and see highlight reels of other people's lives. We measure ourselves against strangers and we convince ourselves that we're losing. But here's the truth. You're not running their race. You're running yours. Their journey isn't yours to live. Their definition of success doesn't have to be yours. And the moment you stop comparing is the moment you start living. Number 6, the quiet heroes. Let me tell you about some of the most successful people I've ever met. They're not celebrities. They're not billionaires. They don't have millions of followers. One is a school teacher who pours her heart into kids nobody else believes in. One is a father who works long hours but never misses his daughter's recital. One is a nurse who treats every patient like family, no matter how tired she is. The world may not call them successful, but make no mistake, they are giants. Because success isn't about being known by the world. It's about being loved by the few who matter most. Number 7, the freedom of enough. Here's something that changed my life. Realizing that enough is the real success. When you learn to say, I have enough to be grateful. I am enough as I am. I've done enough for today, and tomorrow I'll grow again. That's when the chains of greed and insecurity fall off. True freedom isn't in getting everything. It's in realizing you don't need everything. Number 8, the challenge of success. So let me challenge you. Stop chasing success the world shoves in your face. Start building success that lasts beyond your last breath. Who do you need to forgive today? Who do you need to love more intentionally? What small act of kindness can you give that no one will see, but that will matter forever? Because one day, all the trophies will collect dust. All the money will be spent. All the followers will move on. But love endures. Character endures. Legacy endures. Number 9, closing reflection. When I think about my mom, I realized she was the most successful person I've ever known. She didn't die with millions. She didn't have headlines written about her. But she left me and everyone she touched with a legacy of love, of belief, of selflessness. That's success. And if you want to honor her story and yours, then don't waste your life chasing shadows. Live for what matters. Love for what lasts. Build a legacy that will echo when you're gone. Because at the end of the day, success is not what you hold in your hands. It's what you've planted in the hearts of others. So let me ask you one final question. In this section, when your story is finished, Will it be worth telling? We've walked a long road together. We've laughed at the stories of overprotective moms on the sidelines. We've cried at the heartbreak of loss and regret. We've wrestled with the reality of bad choices, broken dreams, and second chances. And through it all, one truth has stood tall. Life is fragile. Love is priceless. Choices define us. If you remember nothing else from this message, remember these lessons. 1. Your friends shape your future. Surround yourself with people who lift you higher, not drag you lower. 2. Your family is a gift. Don't wait until it's too late to say the words that matter most. I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you. 3. Regret is a heavy chain, but transformation is possible. No matter what mistakes you've made, you can rebuild. You can choose a new path today. 4. True success isn't wealth or fame. It's love, character, and the legacy you leave in the hearts of others. So tonight, when you leave this place or when you turn off this video, don't just nod your head and move on with life as usual. Pick up the phone. Call your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, your friend. Tell them what they mean to you. Don't wait. Don't assume they already know. Say it. Live it. Show it. Because tomorrow isn't promised, but right now is. At the end of your life, nobody will ask how much money you made. Nobody will care how many followers you had. Nobody will remember the trophies collecting dust on your shelf. But they will remember this: how you loved, how you forgave, how you gave meaning to the word family. And when your time comes, when the chapter closes on your story, the greatest success is hearing those around you say, "Because of you, I am better. Because of you, I believed." So let me leave you with this one final thought, the heartbeat of everything we've shared tonight. Love is just a word until you give it meaning. And today, right now, in this very moment, you're the meaning.